There's something quietly beautiful about watching an elegant woman get ready. She doesn't rush, and she doesn't stand in front of the mirror wondering what will impress everyone else. She reaches for the same few pieces she's trusted for years, not because they're trendy, but because they still feel right. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 5 pieces earn that kind of lifelong trust, and why the loudest jewelry in your box is almost never the piece doing the most work. Here's what's really at stake. After 60, the most beautiful accessories are no longer the ones that shout the loudest. They're the ones that reflect confidence and a life well lived. But there's one piece on this list, the 4th one, that quietly becomes something far more than jewelry, and most women don't realize why until they've worn it for years. We'll get there. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll never look at your jewelry box quite the same way. Welcome to Timeless Tresses, where elegance is something you build, not something you buy. If that's your kind of channel, hit subscribe. Let's get into it. None of the 5 pieces we're covering today were chosen because they're fashionable this season. They were chosen because they've quietly outlasted every trend that tried to replace them. Some may already be sitting in your jewelry box right now, waiting to remind you that true style never actually ages. Piece 1. The delicate gold chain necklace. If there's one piece that quietly ties an entire look together, it's a delicate gold chain necklace. It may seem almost too simple to deserve attention, and that simplicity is exactly what's kept it beautiful through every decade. I understand the instinct to reach for something bigger, something that feels like it's doing more. Nobody tells you that a piece which competes with your outfit is doing less work than one that quietly enhances it. Here's the mechanism. While bold statement necklaces come and go with trends, a fine chain adds just enough warmth without ever overpowering the woman wearing it. It looks as natural with a crisp white shirt as it does with a soft cashmere sweater or a silk blouse, because instead of competing with your outfit, it draws the eye upward toward your face and brings a soft glow to your skin. The fix is choosing a delicate profile over a heavy, oversized design. An 18-inch length is often the most flattering, resting gracefully near the collarbone and complementing a wide range of necklines. Yellow gold brings warmth and traditional elegance. White gold reads cleaner and more contemporary. The right choice is simply whichever harmonizes with the jewelry you already love. If you love layering, keep it refined. 2 slender chains of slightly different lengths create depth without looking busy. Avoid thick chains or oversized pendants, which distract from the quiet sophistication this piece is known for. Do it today. If you own a single fine chain already, wear it alone tomorrow instead of underneath something bigger, and notice how it draws attention to your face rather than away from it. Perhaps the greatest beauty of this piece is that people rarely remember the necklace itself. They remember how polished and confident you looked while wearing it. That's the piece nobody remembers wearing. They just remember how polished you looked. The next one reveals itself in quieter moments than you'd expect. Piece 2. The tennis bracelet. Some jewelry never needs to announce its value. It doesn't sparkle from across the room. It reveals itself in a graceful gesture, a warm handshake, the simple movement of turning a page. I understand why a bolder bracelet feels like the safer choice for making an impression. What actually reads as elegance is often the opposite of what reads as loud. Here's a bit of history worth knowing, because it explains the whole design philosophy behind this piece. The bracelet earned its name after a professional tennis player famously stopped a match to search for the diamond bracelet that had slipped from her wrist. Since then, it's become a symbol of understated luxury, proof that something refined can also be practical enough to wear every single day. Here's the mechanism. Each stone sits perfectly aligned, creating a continuous line of light that feels graceful rather than extravagant. It never dominates an outfit. It adds a quiet sense of polish that works as well with a linen shirt on a sunny afternoon as it does with an evening dress. The fix, if natural diamonds aren't within budget, is high-quality moissanite, which offers the same brilliance and lasting beauty without the same investment. What matters most is clean craftsmanship, secure settings, and proportions that feel refined rather than oversized. It pairs beautifully with a classic watch. The two together read as balanced and intentional. Do it today. If you already own one, try it stacked with nothing else. No chunky bangles, no dangling charms beside it. The moment other pieces compete for attention, this one's quiet beauty disappears. That might be the greatest lesson this piece teaches. True luxury was never about owning the loudest things. That's the sparkle nobody's supposed to notice directly. The next piece has been quietly evolving for generations without ever chasing a single trend. Piece 3. Gold hoop earrings. There's a reason gold hoops have remained a favorite for generations of stylish women. They've never relied on dramatic design to stay relevant. They've simply evolved quietly, finding their place in the wardrobes of women who appreciate effortless elegance. I understand the instinct toward bigger is bolder and bolder is better. That instinct is exactly what trips up more women with this piece than any other on the list. Here's the mechanism. After 60, the secret is proportion over size. Small to medium hoops, usually between 20 and 30 millimeters, frame the face without overwhelming it, adding just enough movement to catch the light as you smile or turn your head. Oversized or overly thick styles become the first thing people notice, and that's rarely the goal of timeless style. The fix is thin, polished gold hoops in that 20 to 30 millimeter range. They pair beautifully with a crisp denim shirt for a relaxed weekend or a tailored blazer for lunch with friends, and they complement nearly every hairstyle, adding softness with a pixie cut, peeking through naturally with longer hair for just the right touch of brightness without looking overdone. Do it today. If your current hoops feel closer to statement-sized, try a smaller pair for a week, and notice whether people start commenting on your smile instead of your earrings. That shift is the entire point. The best hoop earrings have a remarkable quality. After a conversation, people rarely remember the earrings themselves. They remember your warmth, your confidence, and how effortlessly put together your whole look felt. The most common mistake here isn't choosing the wrong metal or the wrong finish. It's simply assuming bigger automatically means bolder, and therefore better. In reality, oversized hoops often pull attention away from your features rather than enhancing them, which is exactly the opposite of what timeless jewelry is supposed to do. And now, the piece I promised you at the very start. Piece 4. The signature ring. Unlike most jewelry, a signature ring often becomes part of a woman's story. It isn't simply something she wears, it becomes something she lives with, quietly present through birthdays, career milestones, new beginnings, and the harder seasons too. I understand why it's tempting to think a ring's value comes from its stone size or its price tag. Long after we forget when something was purchased, we remember what it represents. And that's exactly why this piece works differently from every other item on this list. Here's the mechanism. A simple wedding band, a classic solitaire, an inherited sapphire. None of these depend on size or cost for their power. Their value comes from repetition and memory, from becoming the thing your hand reaches for instinctively, without a second thought. It stops being an accessory and starts being a reflection of the woman wearing it. Stronger with time, richer in meaning, more beautiful because of the life it's quietly witnessed. The fix, when choosing a ring meant to last, is simplicity. Clean gold bands, timeless solitaire settings, elegant gemstones in classic cuts. These pair effortlessly with casual outfits, business attire, and formal evening wear without ever feeling out of place, because they were never chasing a trend to begin with. One mistake worth avoiding: stacking too many statement rings across both hands. While layering can be fashionable, too many bold designs compete with one another and diminish the quiet elegance each individual piece was meant to carry. A single, beautifully chosen ring usually says far more than several worn at once. Do it today. Think about which ring, if any, you reach for without thinking. If you don't have one yet, that's worth noticing. The search for a signature piece is itself part of building it, and it rarely happens by accident. We're almost at the last one, and it might be the most timeless piece on this entire list. Piece 5. Pearl stud earrings. Long before diamonds became symbols of luxury, before fashion houses introduced new collections every season, there were pearls. For centuries, they've adorned queens, artists, and women whose elegance was never measured by what happened to be fashionable at the moment. Trends have come and gone. Pearl studs have remained quietly, confidently timeless. I understand the instinct to see pearls as old-fashioned, something inherited rather than chosen. There's something almost poetic in that inheritance worth reconsidering. Here's the mechanism, and it's a little different from anything else on this list. Unlike gemstones that are cut and polished from the earth, a pearl forms slowly, layer by layer, through patience and time. Which may be exactly why so many women feel a particular connection to them later in life. Like the women who wear them, pearls become more beautiful because of the years that shaped them. The fix is choosing classic cultured pearls between 6 and 8 millimeters, refined enough for daily wear while still offering that soft glow pearls are known for. White pearls read crisp and versatile. Cream or ivory pearls bring a warmer, more romantic feel. Set in yellow or white gold, they complement almost any wardrobe for decades to come, working as well with a tailored blazer as they do with a cozy knit sweater or the classic little black dress. Do it today. The one mistake to avoid is assuming bigger means more elegant. Oversized pearls, or designs surrounded by excessive crystals, lose the quiet sophistication that makes pearl studs endure in the first place. Their beauty has always come from restraint, not scale. How these 5 work together. Now that you've seen all 5 individually, here's the part almost nobody talks about. How they function together rather than as 5 separate purchases competing for space in your jewelry box. The rule that ties them all together is restraint. A delicate chain at the neckline, a single tennis bracelet on one wrist, unaccompanied by anything else, small hoops framing the face, one signature ring doing the talking instead of 5 smaller ones, pearl studs, worn alone, without a matching necklace fighting for the same attention. Notice what's missing from that list, layering all 5 at once. These pieces were never designed to be worn simultaneously and loudly. They were designed to each get their moment, chosen based on the day, the outfit, the occasion, not stacked together to prove a point. This is really the difference between a woman who owns beautiful jewelry and a woman who wears it elegantly. The first tries to show all of it at once. The second understands that restraint is what makes each piece readable in the first place. Building this collection without rushing it. If you're starting from close to zero, here's how to think about building toward this collection without feeling like you need to buy all 5 at once. Start with whichever piece solves the gap you feel most on an ordinary day, not the piece that photographs best. If you find yourself reaching for nothing at all most mornings, the gold chain or the pearl studs are the easiest entry points, since both work with nearly everything you already own.